The third pillar of stewardship is formation, the intentional forming of men into disciples. This week, you're going to watch a film of a high school football team who at one point, they really focused on winning. That focus slowly changed to a bigger picture, heaven. As you see this, you're going to get to see the third pillar of stewardship, formation, and the idea of intentionally forming disciples and the extraordinary results when men come together with a common goal and a common vision, much bigger than anything this world can provide, heaven.
You know, I was asked that, do you feel like your coaching career has been completed, that you won a state championship? And part of me says yes, and part of me says not really, because if I really was in it for just the wins, I would have walked away several times.
I talked to you yesterday. We're going to put you in some uncomfortable situations this week. How are we going to respond?
I really enjoyed playing high school football for Coach Schuckman. I felt like he made me a lot better player. I felt like he made our team a lot better. We won one game as freshmen, and then we made sub-state as seniors. So we're not exactly math majors, but it's pretty straightforward. He made us a lot better.
Prior to the 2012 football season, I mean, we were like every program. We wanted to win a state championship. And I don't know what it was. We changed what we were about. Our identity was always to develop boys to men. But at that point, we felt like there was a bigger mission.
Get out, bend more.
So we came up with, we're going to get these kids to heaven. That's our goal. That's our priority. And, the wins have taken care of themselves. And I truly have a coaching staff that cares more about the kids than we do winning games.
My time playing for him for 4 years was an honor, and I look back on those times as some of the most enjoyable times of my life. For the football in part, but also more importantly because I learned from a great man, a man who wanted to win, but always wanted to win because he had formed men to do things the right way, to do things on the football field the right way. But you're only going to do things on the football field the right way if you have those things centered in the rest of your life and you have things prioritized. And so that's the spiritual life, your studies, your family, all of those things. And then football comes next. But having that ordering and knowing what's important lets you be the best football player that you can be. It lets you be the best man that you can be.
I truly believe that Coach loves the players that are on this team. He is interested in what is truly best for them, and he is willing to challenge them to do what's best for them and to do the things that are going to make them successful and get them to heaven and be men of faith and men of honor who are going to make the world a better place.
He's not just trying to make us the best high school football players we can be. He's trying to make us the best men we can be. He instills that type of stuff in us every day in practice. He knows how to push us to be the best men we can be on, off the field, in our prayer life, in our family life, with our future spouses, whoever that may be, in our future jobs. He just really knows, he really understands the perspective of the bigger picture in life.
Honestly, we really don't talk to the kids about winning all that much. I mean, we really don't. We don't say, hey, we have to win. We focus on them practicing to make themselves a better team and being good teammates. And Coach really emphasizes that if we do those things, then the wins will come from that.
His ability to impart knowledge, discipline, his gifts, and understand that those gifts were given to him to help to spread to others, and is also recognition of the gifts in others that they have and their ability to spread that. So he's not some almost dictator that has to have his fingers on everything in a really destructive way. He recognizes his gifts, he recognizes his limitations maybe, and he recognizes the gifts in those around him, and he utilizes all those things together. And so I think you see that in the rest of that coaching staff, the way that they work, the relationship they have with the young men, and his ability to foster that, for me has always shown that he understands what it means to have gifts, what it means for other people to have gifts, and to work those all together for a cohesive unit.
When they're young, talk to them about, what are your goals, give them strategies to achieve those goals, And then we tie in these other goals that are important to us, their faith life and maximizing their academic potential and being a good citizen, and then ultimately striving to graduation to where they go out and give back and again, make that difference.
He talks about it all the time with like the kids and the community as a family.
Our success is not based on the one person, maybe just the person that scores touchdowns. Our success is based on everybody maximizing their potential. When you talk about making a difference, that's kind of what we're talking about. When they leave Bishop Carroll, they're going to go have a job, they're going to join the military, they're going to maybe join a fraternity or whatever it might be. I want them to be the leaders and the people that impact those type of organizations.
The development that kids have when they leave, and some of the things they go off and do, and some of the things they go off and accomplish, and some of the lives that they touch and different things like that. And it's inspiring.
Chris was a young man that loved life. Early on, he wanted to do everything 100%.
Chris was a unique individual. When he started at Bishop Carroll, he was a tall, lanky freshman. Started on the B team. He kind of epitomizes what our program's about.
He struggled at times with speed. He practiced, he ran, he did time trials and everything else, and he slowly started getting his speed and agility.
Senior year was first team all-league, so went from a B team player to an all-league player senior year. Work ethic was incredible. He would outwork you and very competitive.
74 was his number when he was in high school. So I always could look for the numbers that during the game and everything and seeing where he was at, and it was fun.
Somewhere in the mix, I was his mentor, and somewhere it got switched. The roles got reversed. And then he went out and impacted the world.
He'd had a goal of being a Marine his whole life, and he said, if I don't do this now to be a Marine pilot, then I'm never going to get an opportunity again.
So he went to Cessna, worked, saved his money, got his private pilot's license, got his eyes done, and then went down and signed up.
He came back and coached for us for 4 years on and off through his military career. And he put a footprint on our program that will always be here as long as I'm here.
The way he was able to challenge the kids to be better men, and the way the kids responded to that, I think that coached us all as individuals.
We had a discipline program, but he took it to another level. He really brought in the brotherhood aspect of it. We talked family, and maybe I talked about it, but not like he does. I mean, he talked about it, you're playing for the guy next to you, you're not playing for yourself. And his ability to motivate and lead was incredible.
His faith in God and our family was huge. And when you love God and you love yourself, it will show and be able to help whatever you do in life.
And the last time I saw him, he was getting deployed to Japan, and I didn't think anything of it, not going to Afghanistan or Iraq. I thought he was going to a safe place, and gave him a hug, told him good luck, and I'll see you when you get back.
When he was going to Nepal, he was excited. He says, this is what I signed up for. This is what I want to do. There was like 4 helicopters that went over there, and their main duty was to be able to rescue people out, help get tarps and rice, and get the materials that they needed to be able so they can start rebuilding and everything. To help you get a picture of what Lake Nepal and Kathmandu, where all this was happening, it's kind of in a bowl. So you've got Mount Everest at this side, and it kind of comes down on through here. It's really rocky, the terrain's really bad, and the wind shears. For a helicopter, there is no give. They can come up over these pockets and just bring them down in an instant.
At this time, I can confirm that we have located the wreckage of the UH-1 Yankee Huey helicopter that's been missing since Tuesday, the 12th of May. Because of the nature of the wreckage, it is unlikely that there are any survivors at this time.
I had the vision when that accident happened. I didn't know what I was seeing at the time, but I saw that cloud, and they couldn't see what was in front of their face. All they could see was like the top of the trees, and they ran into the top of the mountain.
Our prayers are with the Marines and the Nepalese soldiers and their families. We all mourn this tragic loss of life.
And to have that sinking feeling, it was really hard. They did the best that they could in the situation, and they saved a lot of people prior to that. It was just really unfortunate that all of our men, not just Chris, but everybody, gave their lives helping all those people. And they had some of the most skilled people on that helicopter, and that still, it was just an act of God.
He died saving lives. He became a hero, not because of the way he died, but the way he lived his life. And I mean, he cared about others, and that's what it was all about, and showed to the very end.
There's a huge outpouring amongst the community because he made such a big difference for us. And Coach Schuckman was really, he was a huge leader on making sure that people got together, they talked about Chris, that they shared stories about Chris, that we did not forget the impact that Chris had on who we are.
I had no clue how many people his life has touched over the years, from coaching, everything that he's done, wherever he's worked at, where he went to school. He made a huge impact on a lot of people, and they came back in droves.
Captain Norgren, Coach Norgren, Chris Norgren was a lot like Father Capon. Both were in the military, both died at a young age, and both died saving people. And both, I guarantee, are looking down upon us and motivating us to do better. And
I'm really proud. Every parent wants their kids to be the best that they can be. He did more in 31 years than I've done in my 59 years. And he's changed people's lives, he's helped them, and I'm proud. I'm very happy to call him my son.
The last time I saw him, I remember our conversation. I thanked him for all his contributions to our program and what he had done, and he said, "Coach, this program has done a lot more for me than I'll ever do for it." And that's how he was. He was about turning things around, about this is who I am. I'm giving back to what I received. And you talking about stewardship, that's stewardship.
He made everybody feel important. He found the good within every single person that he looked at and tied to. And those components take the season from football and move it into the current.
We're going to remember him. We're going to remember the great things he's done. And we do talk about it. And we'll continue to talk about it through the season, because that's who I want them to be like.
When I think of Coach Schuckman, I think of a man who has it as his mission in whatever he's doing at Bishop Carroll and beyond to help form better men, better Christ-like men.
He talks about it all the time with the kids and the community as a family, and then making the community stronger. Where's the community going to be in 20 years? And just seeing how the community kind of builds off itself.
Come on, quick feet, quick feet.
I use the line, you got to stay hungry and stay humble. And I try to live my day by that. That's one of those things that we challenge our guys with. So.
You just watched a film of an ordinary football team who began to think extraordinarily. Your challenge this week, using the third pillar of stewardship, formation, the intentional formation of disciples, is going to be to surround yourself with your own team, to look around this room and find another man or two, to get together with them outside of this meeting, and to share your hopes and your dreams and your struggles in following Christ. And to ask these men to hold you accountable to something greater than any earthly glory you could get. And that is to have a group of men to hold you accountable to the goal of heaven.